Ikta Solork is a carefree young man who only wants two things in life: a woman on his arm and a place to nap. Unfortunately, his peaceful life is destroyed when war breaks out between the Kakpaerna Empire and the neighboring Republic of Kyoka. Ikta and his childhood friend Yatorishi no Ixem join the army as military officers, where they meet the infantryman Matthew Tetojirichi, the sniper Torway Remion, and the medic Haroma Becker on a boat heading for the military exam site. However, after a rogue storm sinks their vessel, the five of them end up in an enemy territory near a military outpost. There, they discover that the heir to the Katveran throne, Princess Camille, has been taken hostage. The five are able to rescue her, and as a reward, each one of them is granted the title of Imperial Knight, one of the highest honors a soldier can receive. It seems that Ikta will have to put his dream of tranquility on hold, as he must now become the hero he never wanted to be. With the appearance of a mysterious virus that kills everyone above the age of 13, mankind becomes enslaved by previously hidden, power-hungry vampires who emerge in order to subjugate society with the promise of protecting the survivors in exchange for donation of their blood. Among these survivors are Juichiro and Mikaela Hyakuya, two young boys who are taken captive from an orphanage along with other children whom they consider family. Discontent with being treated like livestock under the vampire's cruel reign, Mikaela hatches a rebellious escape plan that is ultimately doomed to fail. The only survivor to come out on the other side is Juichiro, who is found by the Moon Demon Company, a military unit dedicated to exterminating the vampires in Japan. Many years later, now a member of the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, Juichiro is determined to take revenge on the creatures that slaughtered his family. OWARI no SERAPH is a post-apocalyptic supernatural shonen anime that follows a young man's search for retribution, all the while battling for friendship and loyalty against seemingly impossible odds. In the not-so-distant future, mankind has advanced to a state where complete body transplants from flesh to machine is possible. This allows for great increases in both physical and cybernetic prowess and blurring the lines between the two worlds. However, criminals can also make full use of such technology, leading to new and sometimes very dangerous crimes. In response to such innovative new methods, the Japanese government has established Section 9, an independently operating police unit which deals with such highly sensitive crimes. Led by Daisuke Aramaki and Motoko Kusanagi, Section 9 deals with such crimes over the entire social spectrum, usually with success. However, when faced with a new A-level hacker nicknamed the Laughing Man, the team is thrown into a dangerous cat and mouse game, following the hacker's trail as it leaves its mark on Japan. Off-duty Japan's Self-Defense Forces officer and otaku Yoji Itami is on his way to attend a doujin convention in Ginza, Tokyo, when a mysterious portal in the shape of a large gate suddenly appears. From this gate, supernatural creatures and warriors clad in medieval armor emerge, charging through the city, killing and destroying everything in their path. With swift actions, Yoji saves as many lives as he can, while the rest of the Japan's self-defense forces direct their efforts towards stopping the invasion. 3 months after the attack, Yoji has been tasked with leading a special recon team as part of the JSDF task force that will be sent to the world beyond the gate, now being referred to as the Special Region. They must travel into this unknown world in order to learn more about what they are dealing with and attempt to befriend the locals in hopes of creating peaceful ties with the ruling empire. But if they fail, they face the consequences of participating in a devastating war that will engulf both sides of the gate. Born from the corpse of his mother, a young mercenary known only as Guts embraces the battlefield as his only means of survival. Day in and day out, putting his life on the line just to make enough to get by, he moves from one bloodshed to the next. After a run-in with the Band of the Hawk, a formidable troop of mercenaries, Guts is recruited by their charismatic leader Griffith, nicknamed the White Hawk. As he quickly climbed the ranks in order to become the head of the offensive faction, Guts proves to be a mighty addition to Griffith's force, taking Midland by storm. However, while the band's quest for recognition continues, Guts slowly realizes that the world is not as black and white as he once assumed. Set in the medieval era, KENPUU Denki Berserk is a dark, gritty tale that follows one man's struggle to find his own path while supporting another's lust for power and the unimaginable tragedy that begins to turn the wheels of fate. There exist creatures of darkness and evil that plague the night, devouring any human unfortunate enough to be caught in their grasp. On the other side is HELLSING, an organization dedicated to destroying these supernatural forces that threaten the very existence of humanity. At its head is Integra Fairbook Wingate's HELLSING, who commands a powerful military and spends her life fighting the undead. Integra's vast army, however, pales in comparison with her ultimate weapon, the vampire Alucard, who works against his own kind as an exterminator for HELLSING. With his new vampire servant, Seras Victoria, at his side, Alucard must battle not only monsters, but all those who stand to oppose HELLSING, be they in a guise of good or evil. In a battle for mankind's survival, HELLSING Ultimate proves that appearances are not all they may seem, and sometimes the greatest weapon can come in the form of one's worst nightmare. In the year 2010, the Holy Empire of Britannia is establishing itself as a dominant military nation, starting with the conquest of Japan. Renamed to Area 11, after its swift defeat, Japan has seen significant resistance against these tyrants in an attempt to regain independence. LELOUCH Lamperouche, a Britannian student, unfortunately finds himself caught in a crossfire between the Britannian and the Area 11 rebel armed forces. He is able to escape, however, thanks to the timely appearance of a mysterious girl named Cece, who bestows upon him GEASS, the power of kings. Realizing the vast potential of his newfound power of absolute obedience, LELOUCH embarks upon a perilous journey as the masked vigilante known as Zero, leading a merciless onslaught against Britannia in order to get revenge once and for all. Tanya is a young soldier infamous for predatorial-like ruthlessness and uncanny tactical aptitude, earning her the nickname of the Devil of the Rhine. Underneath her innocuous appearance, however, lies the soul of a man who challenged Being X, the self-proclaimed god, to a battle of wits, which resulted in him being reincarnated as a little girl into a world of magical warfare. Hell-bent on defiance, Tanya resolves to ascend the ranks of her country's military as it slowly plunges into World War, with only Being X proving to be the strongest obstacle in recreating the peaceful lives she once knew. But her perceptive actions and combat initiative have an unintended side effect, propelling the mighty empire into becoming one of the most powerful nations in mankind's history. In order for something to be obtained, something of equal value must be lost. Alchemy is bound by this law of equivalent exchange, something that young brothers Edward and Alphonse Elric only realize after attempting human transmutation, the one forbidden act of alchemy. They pay a terrible price for their transgression. Edward loses his left leg, Alphonse his physical body. It is only by the desperate sacrifice of Edward's right arm that he is able to affix Alphonse's soul to a suit of armor. Devastated and alone, it is the hope that they would both eventually return to their original bodies that gives Edward the inspiration to obtain metal limbs called automail and become a state alchemist. the Fullmetal Alchemist. 3 years of searching later, the brothers seek the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical relic that allows an alchemist to overcome the law of equivalent exchange. Even with Colonel Roy Mustang, Lieutenant Ryza Hawkeye, and Lieutenant Colonel Maz Hughes on their side, the brothers find themselves caught up in a nationwide conspiracy that leads them not only to the true nature of the elusive Philosopher's Stone, but their country's murky history as well. In between finding a serial killer and racing against time, Edward and Alphonse must ask themselves if what they are doing will make them human again or take away their humanity. Centuries ago, mankind was slaughtered to near extinction by monstrous humanoid creatures called Titans, forcing humans to hide in fear behind enormous concentric walls. What makes these giants truly terrifying is that their taste for human flesh is not born out of hunger, but what appears to be out of pleasure. To ensure their survival, the remnants of humanity began living within defensive barriers, resulting in 100 years without a single Titan encounter. However, that fragile calm is soon shattered when a colossal Titan manages to breach the supposedly impregnable outer wall, reigniting the fight for survival against the man-eating abominations. After witnessing a horrific personal loss at the hands of the invading creatures, Eren Yeager dedicates his life to their eradication by enlisting in the Survey Corps, an elite military unit that combines the merciless humanoids outside the protection of the walls. Based on Hajime Isayama's award-winning manga, Shingeki no Kyojin follows Eren along with his adopted sister Mikasa Ackerman and his childhood friend Armin Allard as they join the brutal war against the Titans and race to discover a way of defeating them before the walls are breached. Thank you for watching my video, make sure to smash like, subscribe for more anime videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.